Call the meeting to order. Hello, Chris. Welcome.
Hi, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Are you here for public participation?
I sure am.
We never get public participants. How exciting. Well, welcome.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, so I won't occupy too much of your time if we want to start off the meeting.
Yeah, we always start with public participation, so the floor is yours.
Sweet. So, hi everybody. My name is Christopher Kern. I've recently moved into um, 580 Salem not too far, long ago. And I'm really passionate about the environment. So quick thing is I really wanted to jump on to the EV initiative program that you guys got going on, where you guys have homeowners, if they have a EV or a plug-in hybrid, they're able to register and have some sort of rebate. I thought that was really good, but I think that there might be potential to increase the impact for the community. I currently am in a multi-unit building, and after talking to various people, logistically, sadly, it doesn't really seem like this is going to work out. Which was disappointing to see that. I know that at my unit there's over 40 people as the 2023 census, and to me it made sense to maybe think about what can we really do to affect or benefit people for a multi-unit housing. I know that other states, New York, New Jersey, and others have a right to charge law for multi-unit buildings. And I was actually surprised to see that Massachusetts wasn't of one of
Mm.
them. So I thought, hey, maybe we'll start local. Maybe we can think about ideas or logistics. I know that when you get into the weed of things, you kind of bump your head about on multiple issues. So I understand that this is a very difficult and hard to implement. But seeing how Wakefield is really, has this committee and is really forward about thinking about how do we, incentivize others to be able to make this change, I thought this would be a great place to start.
Great. Well, thank you for coming and for sharing that. I certainly share your passion about EVs, and gosh, if we can make it easier for folks to make that switch, we should be. Um, Robin, Julie, chime in. We So when we pass the specialized energy code, which albeit applies to new buildings, not existing buildings, that has stipulations for EV chargers, right?
Yes. Right, John Robin? Robin's looking. I'm pretty sure it does.
I think it does. I think what Chris is asking for, which is what Cambridge and Boston have passed on a local level, is the right to charge rules.
Right.
Because Cambridge, has a lot of parcels where people don't have driveways, so they needed something right to charge on how to handle extension cords across sidewalks and so forth, because ordinarily that would be not okay. So Cambridge just created rules as a way to allow people to have extension cords, not necessarily charging stations itself, but the ability to plug in on a sidewalk. There may be more to it. I just know that part because of a
Yeah.
cousin.
I think they're doing it like within a mile. Isn't it like everybody has to be within a mile of a charging station or something like that?
I don't know those details, but to Chris's point, whether we have the specialized stretch code or not, that doesn't help existing if you don't touch it. So he's looking for help to get it to his current building. What building? Where were you, Chris, in town?
580 Salem.
That's not one of the new buildings, right?
It's right across for one of the ones that is actually going to be installed.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll see that be implemented. So right now I do have a plug-in hybrid because unfortunately I did need a vehicle. And I didn't really have the infrastructure to be able to do a full EV, which is ultimately what made me choose the plug-in, even though I would love to done the full EV. But I understand that it's logistically hard to be able to do this. I think Malden, I'll have to take a look at which town, but it was interesting because they actually had charging stations that were on top of, or basically were deployed on the power line,
Poles.
the telephone
Mhm.
line.
Yeah, Melrose.
Melrose has those
has
too.
There you go, Melrose. Yeah, I thought that was super cool because, essentially
Yes.
you didn't have to like physically install something on the ground that occupies space and you can, remote in and it have drop down. And that was like really cool. I know that, there's a lot of cool ideas that we could try to implement and, policy and what have you. I know that my complex right now has like two Teslas. We do have a Tesla station across the road, but like logistics, like my car cannot work with a Tesla. Don't want to bog you down and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, they have electric cars, they know.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, basically we have electric cars right now in this complex that would benefit for
Yeah.
some sort of charging. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk just to mention that,
Mhm.
there is a demand for people, and this would definitely incentivize more members that if this infrastructure was here for units, then that would make the transition a lot easier. Me being an anecdotal type of case.
And just out of curiosity, is you're building rentals or condos?
As far as I know, rentals.
Or
But
rentals?
maybe I could be wrong on that. But I
No,
think
no, I'm just, yeah. I think that's, where we're kind of talking about rental, kind of environmental in general, and how renters and multifamily units don't quite have quite the services that others do. So this is kind of plays into that as well. The other thing, Tiana and Robin, I know when we originally put the public electric chargers, EV chargers in town, we had no overnight parking. And I always said I wondered whether we needed to revisit that at some point so that people who live near them could charge overnight, who might not be able to put the infrastructure in. So that's just another thing. I mean, it might not help you, Chris, because you're probably not super close to one of the public ones, but it seems to me that, there should be we should be using those things 24/7, basically.
Right. And you wouldn't want to plug it in at 9 p.m. and then have to go remove it at 4 a.m. because you've
Right.
been there however many hours. Like that's not realistic.
So I just want to make sure we kind of keep our eye on that as well. I mean, the other thing I've been hearing about people doing is just plugging it into a good old fashioned plug for a while, right? Like where you're plugging, just go into a.
exactly. So one of my friends, he has a Tesla, and I was quite surprised to hear that he just uses a level one outlet
Yeah.
or basically the wall outlet, because his commute's pretty short. So for a good amount of like topping off applications, I don't know about most users, but with my plug-in hybrid that gets like 40 to 50 miles, it's designed from what I've experienced. It seems to be designed where just a wall outlet is sufficient, right? Because it can go from 0 to 100% in like 8 hours, which is fantastic. But for my individual unit, I don't have access to a wall outlet physically. So that's kind of like well, do we, try to have wall outlets available kind of like on meter, or do we want to just do the full level two infrastructure? But either way, in terms of daily use, I don't have any means specifically for me, but I was,
Right.
I wanted to think about not just me, but for everybody else. So like if it didn't make sense to put infrastructure in my complex, it would be a bummer, but like knowing that the future, places would have charging, that would be good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, the solution may be multiple. One is, the future potential of the telephone pole method on the street, which is a relationship with the municipality or with the utility company because they own the poles, or somebody owns the poles and they have to get permission to tap into it. Then there's there rules to like help folks, plug in, extension cords across the sidewalk, and so there's gonna be multiple ways to deal with it.
yeah, so thank you for hearing me. I just kind of wanted to voice that. And if we want to talk about possible solutions, or I can try to think of other ideas, I would be happily able to email you guys. I don't want to offload a big problem that,
Oh,
I shouldn't say a big problem, but like, a potential optimization and, not participate in it whatsoever. So if that's something that you guys would like to talk about, I'd be happy to try to springboard ideas and, do my best more as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Please feel free to email us. We might also want to loop in the folks at Wakefield Municipal Gas and Light, because they may, have other ideas. They've certainly been supportive of some of the public charging. So if we wanted to do the thing that comes down from the poles, they would probably be our first stop for getting some enthusiasm there. So yeah, feel free to send us some ideas and we can see what we can do.
Awesome. And then where should I be able to reach you guys?
You can email ESC at
Wakefield.ma.us.
ESC at
ESC.
wakefield.ma.us. Yes.
Yeah,
We
it's
also
on the
have a
web. It's on
Facebook
the
account,
web.
so you can reach us there too.
Yes, if you're on Facebook, we have an ESC Facebook account. You can follow us for all sorts of fun sustainability things.
Awesome. So that's ESC at wakefield.us.
.ma.us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for
Can I
joining
ask
us.
how you saw our agenda, just so we know how people hear about us?
Yeah, so I actually heard through I Googled and saw that you guys had an environmental committee. And then just joined from there.
Well, we hope you're going to be a
This is-
long-term Wakefield person and you'll get involved.
Yeah, because this is actually one of
100%.
the subcommittees. The larger committee meets on a different day. So this is just one of our many subcommittees, and this happens to be the one focused on community engagement. So we're delighted to hear from a member of the community. But you're welcome to come and publicly participate in future meetings, either of this subcommittee or the larger ESC. So
And
yeah.
we'll definitely talk. And there is somebody from the light department on the representative on the larger ESC. So we'll talk about this, bring this to them as well.
Okay, if it's beneficial for me to attend the larger one, I'll be happy to do. I basically want to go with the flow. Whatever works with you guys is fine by me.
No, we love having people, and then they may have questions and they, want to bounce stuff off. So our next meeting is it next Thursday?
Next Thursday.
For some reason, I went looking for it in my calendar, I couldn't find it, but,
Next Thursday night, yeah.
yeah, so,
Awesome.
thanks,
Well, thank you
Chris.
guys.
Great. Thank you so much for
Thanks.
joining us. Let me pull up the agenda and see what is next. Next would be approval of the minutes from last time.
Motion for approval?
Second?
Thank you. Robin,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes.
delightful. Yes, cool. So next was to do a quick recap of recent in-person events. And then we'll talk about upcoming events. So two recent in-person events were the EV Ask a Neighbor chat on March 8th, and then the elementary school STEAM night at the Galvin on May 14th, Pi Day.
Is that by design? I forgot it was.
I think so, yeah. So I would say the EV Ask a Neighbor chat was charming but not well attended. The only people there were people who already have EVs. So we had a nice little time talking about our EVs, but I don't think we changed anyone's minds. And I'm not sure quite what to attribute that to. There were posters around. I put a bunch on Facebook, but people either didn't know about it or it wasn't very appealing. So I don't know, maybe we will or won't do something like that again.
I think, you have to do things like that a couple of times for them to come. And it doesn't have to be on the same topic.
Sure, yeah.
But that's where, and it just occurs to me, it was the owner of Brothers who sat down with us, right? And says that he charges his Tesla all day off of just the regular level one.
That's true.
Because he's at the restaurant all day. So that,
Right.
like, honestly, that I learned something new. I was like, oh, I mean, we always forget about the most obvious sometimes.
Yeah.
Charging options.
Yep.
The owner of Brothers has a Tesla that he parks behind the restaurant?
Yeah, because he
Apparently.
gets there at like 5 a.m. Said he parks it and he charges all day.
All right.
So when Chris said
I
that, I
think
was
he
like,
was
oh,
really excited that we were there.
he was
doing our
so
chat.
excited we were there. It was really fun.
Well, that, maybe that alone, because if he becomes more aware of us and we do have initiatives that need business buy-in,
Mhm.
then, you know, it
Yeah.
has a tertiary, you know, benefit.
Well, there was a gentleman there whose daughter lives in Wakefield. He doesn't live in Wakefield, but he was like, "Oh, Wakefield's so progressive on the environment. Like, how did that happen?" And never thought I would live to hear the day that Wakefield was progressive on the environment. So it made me very
He had
proud.
been at the EV showcase back in the
Yeah.
fall. So that's how, like, that was the population I'd reached out to for this event was for those folks. So that's how he was there. But
I mean,
yeah,
I will say there's definitely some education to be done on businesses and talking about multi-family.
Mhm.
I took a tour of the Tarrant Lane. I can't remember. I don't know what the real name is. Astor, the new big complex on
Oh,
Hopkins.
at the, up the hill?
Yeah, up the hill, kind of right on the Reading border.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice. Very nice. Of course, I'm asking all the kind of energy questions. And I said, how many EV spots do you have? And he didn't know, like it wasn't his thing to know, but he said, yeah, you know, we had some resistance putting them in from kind of some town people. So I think I don't know whether
Putting the
that was
buildings in or
following,
putting EV in?
putting EV charging in.
From people who aren't going to live there.
Well, I mean, he said the fire department was not super,
Oh,
and I don't think, and again, I don't think it's them. I don't think they're being resistant. I think it goes back to not kind of understanding and being worried about them being inside.
the batteries, yeah.
The batteries, I completely get it. So I don't think that it was like trying to stop them at all, but I do think that we still have some kind of public awareness
Mhm.
things.
Well,
Those are very legitimate concerns.
well, actually, this is a instant where the building code isn't caught up enough yet on the risk. Something happened in New York that may trigger more, but how many EV vehicles, scooters, blah, 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 does it take to reach a hazard level that requires different construction type? And
Mm.
so they haven't found what that number is, and if the answer is one, things will get expensive quickly and parking and stuff like that, so that that's justified as a concern, but could they not have done EV outside? Is there no surface?
No, and I think
parking?
I think they ended up doing it. I think they did.
Oh.
I can't remember, like 5 inside, and then there's some outside as well. So I
Uh-huh.
think they found a balance. So, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Robin, that's a good point. I hadn't even really known that technically we don't even really know. So, and they do not have bike storage there, though they said when there's demand for it there. I know.
That is the,
I
whatever.
just don't understand why bike storage is just not a thing. But they said, but they were really great. They said, you know, and this is it's a family run company out of Reading that's developing it. It's a very impressive building. And of course it's all electric, right? Because of our moratorium. But yeah, they said, you know, when people ask for bike storage, they tend to do that. So hopefully that will. It's not the best biking area. I mean, up at the top of that hill, but we are putting sidewalks on Hopkins, so it would be nice for people to be able to get into town on foot or on bike as well as car.
Well, and there's also Reading. I mean, I know we want to direct people to our side, but you know, they are halfway.
Of course. So, I think it's going to be really interesting to watch these buildings as they go up.
Mhm.
And see what's getting incorporated. I'm not sure that, well, they're not under the opt-in because opt-in doesn't hit till July, right?
Right.
So they
They
must
were
be under
normal
the
stretch.
stretch code. They
Yeah.
must be under the old stretch code. So I'm sure they have to be EV ready and solar ready. No?
EV, I don't think so. PV, I don't know if each roof area would have triggered that. Cause there's a size threshold back then.
Oh, okay. Well, even better than that they do have at least some EV spots
Yeah.
inside and outside. So, and they do have a big recycling area, which is nice.
Do they talk about their EUI?
What's an EUI?
Energy usage intensity. It speaks to the efficiency of the building and its system, so you want a low number showing that, you're not using a whole lot of energy. You'll hear
No.
more, more and more about it as
No, I
folks
didn't. The
advertise
building
the new
inspector was
new-
on the tour with me too, and he
Who?
was the building inspector.
Okay,
And he was very, speaking very favorable about the stretch code and opt-in and,
oh, good.
yeah. So. It's good.
Good.
All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack the meeting.
Okay. On the STEAM event, the elementary school STEAM event over at the Galvin, I thought it went well.
I agree. I
Other than
wasn't
when I was,
expecting to promote compost to adults, but whatever, I got an audience.
yeah,
It was weird that people didn't realize it. Like a guy lived on Albion and he goes, what? And I said, on Thursdays, don't you see the green little trash cans? And he's like, no. And I was like, what? Like, I'm like, how do you not, on Albion, how do you not drive somewhere? and
Maybe during the Earth Month or in Earth Month, maybe we have like a Thursday, post a picture of your green bin, right? Every green bin you see around or something.
Anyway, so I don't know, kids were favorable to it. They understood it. I mean, the kids were kind of like, yeah, we do this at school. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think they enjoyed the how do you get to school, rank your emissions thing, or rank earth friendly way to school. I think
the
it made
seeds, thank you, Julie.
some conversation. Yeah,
Oh,
the
you're
seeds were
welcome.
hit. I brought them tonight to so Woodville has their own science fair, and then they have community members do tabling. So I just brought all the same stuff, and the seeds were a big hit again tonight, as well as the the ranking how you get to school. It was interesting to see the parents like. I think there were more parents even at this one because they were all there for the science fair, so they were also engaging with their kids on like, oh well, why do you think that's the school bus is more efficient than a single car? Like, oh well, what? So it's interesting.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, and I'm loving our tablecloth. I'm just so happy that we have a tablecloth that is pretty and says our name.
Just
Makes
the
me
little
glad.
things.
Every time I put it on a table, I'm just like, look at this.
I don't think I've seen it yet.
Yeah. We're tabling across from, there's a table of scientists from Biogen, and they had their tablecloth, and I was like, look at us.
Look at us, municipal.
Yeah, a little volunteer committee with our
Did we buy that with our budget this year?
last
Last
year?
year?
Yeah.
some budget.
Yeah. Yeah, but yes, we bought it with our budget. And it's made from recycled bottles, and it's like, we
I love it.
splurged on the earth-friendly tablecloth material. So anyway, cool. Well, so those were the recap of events. Thinking about the upcoming potential events, maybe I should share my screen so you can see the agenda and the long list of potential events we might have. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Can you see only oh boy.
Yes.
Okay, and like everything else. Jeez, what have I done? Well, so the obvious next event is Saturday, which is the Recycling and Sustainability Day. Are
I
any
will
of
have
y'all?
shift signups for that? I can't remember.
I think we did at the prior meeting.
I'll look at the
I think
minutes.
Melissa did.
Okay.
I will not be available, although my tent might be there.
I recall that your tent was going to be there. Yes.
Well, I can bring my tent. If you're not going to be there, I'll just bring my tent.
Well, Melissa lives around the corner, so she was gonna grab it.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a big deal.
Okay.
That way you can bike Julie.
That's true. I could bike if I don't have to bring the tent. I have a lot of stuff to recycle though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm there for the second half.
Okay. I'll figure
So
it out.
I'll give Melissa or you, Julie, I guess either all the like the bag of stuff.
Okay.
And the box with for the pet food recycling, since that's one of our things.
Maybe I have to get my husband to go to the event because I have bags for you.
Pretty good. And I've been doing a bunch of Facebook promos for it. I guess we haven't put up any flyers. Maybe that was an oversight. I can,
Does the town automatically dip it on the TV billboard thing at the lake? Or
no, you have to submit for that, and I haven't. And it needs to be 11 by 17.
I'm surprised
like
that,
the proportions?
I'm surprised Kate didn't do that.
Maybe she did. She could have
This is
advertised
really
it.
her event, right? I mean, we're
It
just
is. It
tabling
is.
it.
I made a Facebook event for it because she hadn't, and I like having a Facebook event for something that's an event.
I mean, it's definitely on the town website, because I went through it to see what I could recycle.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it at least went out through the email blast, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
So
But I don't feel like I hear enough about it. I mean, I think
yeah, you posted
someone just
about it.
recently was asking me about, was on,
Mhm.
Facebook asking what to do with, what was it, batteries? And I was like, well, actually, on Saturday.
Yeah, I went there to respond to that also and saw that you beat me to it. Well, do we have other good quick ways of blasting it out in the next 4 days?
You should probably go into the item. I would reach out to Kate. Really.
Do you have a team?
She's got
With-
staff. I would reach out to her and say, can you make sure that this is like in the item and coordinate with the
I
town?
wonder if it's in the, hold on, I'll grab the item.
Because there's fly, I'm trying to think how else.
Let's see. Community.
Do we
All
blast
right,
on
so
our
it is
email
an
list?
item under community calendar Saturday, third
it?
annual? I thought it was second.
No, it's third.
Okay, recycling event. It doesn't say it doesn't say what's recycling in it, but it is in the calendar.
Okay.
So that's something.
Okay, well, that's good.
Does she have an ad? I feel like I saw an ad last week for it. I don't know, I'll keep my eyes out, but
But yeah, we did send it to our ESC email list.
Okay, good.
And I'll do another. I'll blast it one more time. And I was going to do a couple more Facebook blasts
I'll do
about
some
it.
Facebook on my town council page too.
Cool. Yeah. And unfortunately, the weather does not look spectacular.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about.
yeah, I think that you may get some people that do drive-bys, similar to the book drive was on a rainy day. Like, I just opened my window and people came to my car and grabbed stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be less about the like stay in kibitz about whether composting, yeah, and more just like throw stuff out of the vehicle and go.
Because there's no rain date, right?
No, and I emailed her about it today because I was doing a couple of posts and realized like, should I post about a rain date if there is one? So I emailed her and she said rain or shine. So good thing we have tents. Bring a poncho.
You might need two, Julie. So you can have
Yeah, we might need to. All right.
But so that'll be fun. Like a whole good lot of stuff to be recycled at that event. So that's great. And I think other than promo, there's not much else we need to do for it. Melissa's been gathering the other like recyclable containers and whatnot. Other April things include the Wakefield Warrior cleanup crew. So they're doing their litter pickup on the 27th. Which we're gonna promote a bunch. I'll email our crew about that as well. And then what would we like to do for Earth Day?
Yeah, it's a plastic question. The theme is plastic.
Yeah, we talked about this last time also about like
and-
either art out of plastic or pledges to go plastic free for a day or a week or like what big plastic reduction you can do. Yeah.
What day is it? I was,
It's during vacation week, I believe.
is
Like
it
20 something, 22nd?
22nd usually, isn't it? 22nd.
It is the 22nd, yes.
So it's a
Which is not
Monday.
vacation week, it's the week after, right? Vacation week is the week of the 15th, so it's the Monday right after.
Oh,
First day of Passover too, I think.
yeah, so. You're,
So we can't, I mean, I know I've got town council that night and we're trying to finish before sundown, so it's gonna be not really an evening thing, so maybe the weekend before.
Mhm.
Um. We always get to these Earth Day things and I never know.
you always what, Julie?
We always get to, I feel like we always get to April and we always have a hard time thinking of something for Earth Day.
Wow.
I mean, I'm really glad the cleanup crew is doing something. I mean, we could do something as simple as move the water truck to the lake that weekend if it's nice and encourage
Don't-
everybody to bring their own bottles.
Oh, you mean to offer the water for the day? Yeah, I mean, it would depend on how many people walk in the lake that would make use of it.
Right. Is that the weekend of the Gator Gallop? Might be there
I
anyway.
wouldn't know.
Let me look. Hold on.
You're,
Greenwood.
you're the runner, Julie. What do you
Well, and
mean?
you're the Greenwood person also.
I'm a greener and the grutter. Let's see. Gator Gallop. 5K. No, it's April 6th. It's this weekend.
Oh,
Guess I'm not
I
that
guess she's
good.
not running.
Guess I'm not running it. Because we have. What time is it? Starts at 8 a.m. I guess I could run it before the.
April 6th is also when the pit opens back up for the season, so I was gonna
Oh,
promote
okay.
that as well.
Yep. I imagine you'll have people do a pit run with recycling, one. I'm not sure which will come first, but you'll get both.
I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be an event. That's a lot to get people out for. Maybe it's just a pledge. Maybe it's just a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about kind of what the town has done with the water truck and with water refill stations.
Mm-hmm.
Like how
Well,
else
and with
can-
in the theme being the plastic, I mean, so like, why is the water truck good? Reduce the single-use plastic. What does the
Right.
town know with bags? Less plastic,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always think with the water thing, like, I mean, our water is really good water and it's like 1 cent a gallon or 2 cents a gallon versus there's also price things there.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to convince people. It's
I know,
amazing.
I don't
When I
understand.
go to BJ's and see how much bottled water people buy, I'm just like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some education to do around kind of the hard plastic recycling too. I don't know, like. Yeah, Tiana, I don't want it all to fall on you, but maybe there's just something, maybe it's just kind of a week of plastic posts and.
Mhm.
Tips on how to reduce.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do we have any budget left? Maybe we could raffle off like. I don't know, like the beeswax wraps or the reusable bags or.
Yeah. I don't know. That would be a Melissa question.
I
Budget.
think we do. I think the last time I saw the balance, I think we did. So it'd be nice if like anybody who takes the pledge, maybe we'll raffle off things for different ages or different, or 5 things or
Mhm.
something.
I like that. Yeah. And what is the pledge? Is it to go plastic free for the day or to pick a particular plastic item in your
I
life
don't
to
know. I bet
reduce? Or-
listen, I'm all about replicating. I see, there must be something online that has
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
a pledge, or maybe it's like pick one thing a day to kind of, I don't know, I think it should be accessible. Let's see if we can find something that's like already kind of done that we can rebrand.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of promoting the water truck, like making that more known that, you can book it for your event, book it for your sports game.
Yeah,
for your,
it's now just
Mhm.
something that's when you book an event anywhere in town, there's a checklist that says, do you want the water truck?
Right, but people might not know that and might
Right.
already be planning their, BJ's run to get a gazillion bottles of water.
Right.
Okay, well, let's look around. If you see things, send them.
Yeah, I'll take a look too.
Around. Yeah.
Maybe
We
we
can.
can, when do we meet? We meet next week, right? So there might even be some
Yeah.
ideas for the fuller group.
Well, I mean, I think we asked at the last meeting,
Oh, yeah.
and those.
Yeah,
those
nothing
sort of were-
concrete came up, but yeah.
Yeah. Try to not use plastic trash. Something about the water truck. Pledge a switch from some plastic item.
I mean, that's why I mean, the reusable bags. I bet I've had them for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just buy 6-gallon bags or 6
Mhm.
1-gallon bags.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. I think raffling up, like, get people to pledge or post things or something, and then we give them a prize.
You should talk to town hall about raffles and stuff. Public rule, there are some guidelines on how to properly do a raffle on a public entity. So we'll just have to make sure we meet those.
Okay.
I don't think it's super serious, but we should just make sure we're
Yeah, we can run that,
correctly.
down.
Good thinking.
We did this before, like the businesses, like collect receipts, and so it's been done.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I just don't know the nuance to know
Yeah.
what the boundaries are.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Other events. I sent an email just today to Kathy, the bee person, to re-engage on the topic of the bee presentation with the observation hive, which I think would be May or June. So I asked for some possible dates when she and the bees would be available. So I'll let you know when I hear back on
that. Not on future events, but we talked about going to the market.
Oh yeah.
The day that we asked is not available. Hold on a second. I'm supposed to fill out a form. I'm trying to find her response to see if she gave me a date as possibility. Because we had talked about like, I don't know, late June or something like that.
Yeah, we talked about the strawberry day.
That's right. Where? I'll have to find it, but so just so you know, that day is not available.
Okay. Well, I think not very many people were available to do it that day anyway, so maybe that's fine.
Okay.
So do you want to find?
I'll follow up to find out what other days are available.
Okay. Let's see, that might be the right
We went
order.
in with a date, that was risky and wasn't.
That's okay. Got the whole summer. Julie, did you talk to anyone about a Fix-It Cafe?
I have not. It's on my list.
Okay. When it came up in the waste reduction subcommittee also, because they consider it a waste reduction initiative. So we might want to coordinate with them so that we're not planning conflicting events.
Collab.
Collab, yes. I have not reached out to anyone about greenhouse gas inventory 101. Do we still think that's sort of the right thing to do, or do we want to fold that into like climate action plan discussions? Does the climate action plan as we write it get public
Oh, yes.
stuff?
Yeah, it will have to.
So maybe it's that. Maybe it just ends up being that.
Yeah, I think that that's gonna be part of that. I just finished the presentation for Monday night to try to get us into the climate leaders to get the technical assistance grant.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been pretty seeped in it, and one of the requirements of the climate leaders is gonna be this resolution that we're our municipal buildings are fossil free by 2050. And Melissa and I went through a lot of different resolutions that towns have done, and a lot of the language really says, you know, the plan will be developed with community input.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very confident that it will.
Cool. Tour of Black Earth Compost. I saw them at the Mass Recycle event and asked them about a tour, and they said, yes, of course, we love having tours. It sounded like they were maybe a month or so out from opening the new facility. So if we want to tour that one, that we can wait a little bit.
Is that closer or?
I don't know. Where's the current facility?
Manchester.
I thought that was where the new facility, they might be like right nearby each other. But the new one's going to be extra cool, I guess.
I guess the question, I mean, are we thinking it's a weekday or weekend?
I don't know. I think we could do it anytime that suits us.
Well, in terms of like, when do we think people would be available to join?
Yeah, we did the tour of the recycling place. We did like a 5 p.m. on a weekday, on like a Wednesday or something, and we had a good crew. But we could do either. We could also like put out a doodle or something and put out a poll and see when folks are available. I don't know, how many people want to go do it, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we wanna understand if it needs to be a weekday or a weekend, that would be handy to.
Yeah.
And the recycling one that you want, they provided the limit, the number of people per group, right?
they did. Yeah, they had
So would compost have the same, or they have less safety issues because they're outdoors and
Yeah, they didn't say anything about a limit. And it sounded like they do like school field trips and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So I imagine we could send as big a group as we want to. And if it's really cool, maybe we tell the schools that they should send folks as a field trip too. But I sort of thought we might as well do one with, ESC and friends first. Okay. Well, I can send out a poll unless someone else wants to.
well, are you thinking of just saying into the email group that
I think
we have?
into the email group, yeah. But I mean, we could, if it's just a Google form kind of poll, we could post on Facebook too.
Good point. Yeah, the question is, are you interested and would you prefer weekday, or weekend?
Yeah.
I need to decide if I'm ordering a lot this year, compost or just getting my free bag. I haven't figured it out.
I'm getting my free bag for the first time ever.
Oh.
I'll probably have a free bag to spare because we're getting another raised bed. We're getting a custom raised bed. We're getting a 2-foot by 8-foot, little skinny little one. So that's gonna come with a big old pile. So
Nice.
So I might give my bag away if someone wants one.
Julie, for your free bag, the nearest place is in Reading at They're Ace.
Oh,
I think
good.
that's
I
where I
hadn't,
got it.
yeah, I hadn't looked it up. I usually donate mine, but this year I have my raised bed.
I feel like last year there was one in Wakefield. It was the one up by Mellitharb, by the Dolbear.
Oh, well, to me, Stonham's actually easier, so maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean that might
Yeah,
that might
yeah,
not be
no,
closer,
I
but
don't remember thinking there was, but that's good that there's one in every town, so there's no excuse for folks not to.
yeah. Any of the other events things people feel like we can move forward? I feel like we've got a lot of events currently on our plate.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get a few more done and then before moving on to the next round.
Yeah, maybe I'll rearrange this in the future as like a backlog of event ideas and versus the ones that are actually in action.
The
Um,
but what's not on the list and where did it come up in conversation? Was the MBTA before town
Hmm.
meeting? You know, do we need? Can we help them on the education front for the passage?
Yeah, well, and we put our statement up and
Yep.
shared that, but that's all we've done so far.
Yeah, I haven't heard a lot about kind of basic education happening. There was kind of a
Yeah.
flare up and now things have quieted down again.
Did you get Aaron's Oh, no,
did.
you weren't on the list. So Aaron sent me, and I guess the planning committee, um, a, the Attorney General released a frequently
Yeah,
asked
she sent it. I got
questions.
a copy of that too, yeah.
Okay, so that's
I
the only
haven't looked
thing
at it yet, but she said it clarifies who has jurisdiction over zoning.
Right. Um. I kind of feel like it's the planning's job to educate, and then we can just promote their education as a way not to avoid mixed messages or confuse, the things on who's presenting the warrant.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from them if they have anything else planned on opportunities to answer questions or not.
I haven't heard. It sounds like it will be the second night though.
No, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a sequence? Okay. I have a client conflict that when they moved it and I was like, oh, town meeting, okay. Well, I will only be able to stay for that for a few minutes because I'm not gonna miss town meeting.
I think it's gonna be long. I have an event that night too. I think it's gonna be a
Well,
lot of
so do you
discussion.
think we'll start the second night with it? Like hoping that
Yes.
everything before it? Okay. And we couldn't have this on Saturdays.
We don't do Saturdays in the spring because of like sports and communions and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, I think that's probably better to let planning do it. I do think that we need to get our statement, so Tiana, when it gets a little closer, maybe on social media. Get our resolution out there. I don't think a lot of people know about that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know do we want to send that to the item or anything else like that? Certainly could.
Yeah, let's get a little closer.
Once the letters start coming into the editor. I mean, there's been a few, but
Have there?
yes. In both directions. There's already been dialogue in both, so it's balanced at the moment, I would say.
Okay. Maybe patch too. What I don't know is whether there's going to be anything at the local election on the 23rd talking about 40A. Sometimes they do, like for the high school, they did a kind of a little tabling there to show the designs for the high school.
They did a table
Didn't they do a table at town meeting last?
in the fall town meeting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought, in the fall town meeting.
Yeah.
The election's the 23rd, you said?
Election is the 23rd, yeah.
Did I put that on my calendar? I guess not.
Put it on your calendar.
And now we can't endorse candidates, right?
No,
As a body.
I wouldn't just to, but
this is where a grassroots group comes in handy.
Mhm. What else I was gonna say, and then it fell out of my head.
um,
Oh, yes. Have we actually gotten a hold of the citizen warrant about recycling? Speaking of the town meeting,
Very good question.
I keep searching for it and not finding it. I don't think the list of warrants has been published yet.
What is today? Today's Tuesday,
Second.
right? Yeah, so I don't have the agenda yet for Monday's meeting.
is Monday when you guys review the warrant?
It must be. It must be.
Because I'm
I know
sure
it's a really long meeting Monday. We're starting at 6. Because we haven't done things like, we haven't done school budget and a few other things, and we've got climate leaders. But no, I haven't seen the agenda. Should come out on Thursday.
because I'm curious about it and about whether it is framed in a way that is actually like gonna help, gonna pass, like what it might look like.
As soon as I see it, I'll let you know.
I'd actually be curious on where it sits in the order after the MBTA. Because I can imagine you have a large audience for zoning. And then it might clear out. So
Mhm.
is that,
No, there's a lot of warrants.
yeah, that's why order matters. And then if it gets changed. But
Well, but it's splitting it between nights also makes it sort of
Sure.
weird. Any other no other events to talk about, I guess. Other stuff about we had other educational mechanisms, other media forums.
yeah, I had put on, if I had time, trying to make some new slides for the
Oh yeah.
TV access.
Mhm.
I haven't done that. Yeah.
I mean,
Education I want to know is, I still see restaurants in town with plastic bags.
There's a place to
To report it.
report that, yeah,
Okay.
on the
I've tried to not, because I know that that they have inventory, but at this point it's been so long.
yeah. I think it's on our site, on our page also, but it's certainly on the Board of Health too,
Okay.
of, like how to
this
how
is
to
why
check.
this whole like plastic campaign too would be a good reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
I still have to get.
Yeah, so in
Um,
terms of reaching others, the only one I had thought of is that update our slides or provide new ones to the TV folks.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And like anything that we've done or posted or promoted, like
Alright.
that is good. Um, next meeting.
So Julie, you won't be available, right? Is that how it works?
Oh,
So sad. And yet not so sad.
But you'll be on as a community
I will be
member.
I will be a community volunteer. Melissa was just texting me that there's still one opening.
What do you mean?
That they
'cause of
only got 2
Chris's.
applications for 3 openings.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to figure out, the awkward thing is I don't want to have to like vote for, I don't want to have to be a counselor when I vote for myself, so I'm just trying to figure out the timing, but it doesn't matter, I'm gonna be involved. Sooner or later, I'll wiggle my way back on.
But we might miss you for the April meeting, or you can just join as a public
I can just join
participant.
as a public participant,
Um,
have to keep me quiet.
does, so, well, that would be mighty soon. Per the usual cadence of things, we would be at Wednesday, April 24th. But that's in just 3 weeks. We got all sorts of wonky, the calendar got weird.
Well, so the 23 you just said was the town election, right?
23rd is the
23rd.
town election, yeah.
Yeah. And then the following week is the
The
town
It's
meeting.
town meeting.
So like, I imagine we wouldn't want it to be that week.
Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy week.
A very long
Yeah.
week.
Which maybe is why I kept it on the 24th, but also we could just push
Well,
further back a week and be May 7th.
well, the 20, if it's just you and I, then, I mean, I'm available on the 23rd. It's not like the election impacts us directly. It
And I'll
just,
still be official until 8 o'clock.
well, no, that would be the 22nd. Oh, wait, we're talking Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday, the
Oh.
23rd.
Tuesday, 23rd.
Oh, I had looked at the 24th. I had the Wednesday, the 24th on my thing for some reason. Weren't we usually doing Wednesdays, not Tuesdays? And it was Tuesday this week because someone had a conflict tomorrow. I don't know.
I don't remember. So of a Tuesday and Wednesday, I guess I would prefer the Wednesday because I tend to vote after work, so I wouldn't be getting home until right before the meeting. So do you want
Wednesday,
to
the
pencil in the
24th?
24th?
That works for
Knowing
me.
that Julie would have been
Yeah,
expired?
I won't be there. I've got 2 big events for work, the 24th and the 25th, so I'm pretty out.
All right. So 23rd, 24th rather, Wednesday?
Wednesday, 24th, 7:30. Sounds good. Any matters not anticipated? I guess I would just say like keep sending me stuff to do for posts for Earth Day, like as you're seeing things, forward them along. We'll start gathering up all the April posts.
I sent you that thing today for the Somerville. I thought they had some
Yeah.
interesting.
They've got some
They have a
interesting ones.
fantastic newsletter.
That is an amazing newsletter.
So does Lexington.
But a lot of it is events and they're Somerville events, so I don't know that we want to promote
No,
any
I
of
don't
it.
think that
We
there are
just
things
have
for us to
some-
promote. I just
we can
like,
just have some
from a
envy.
con standpoint, I like it.
If someone wants to make a newsletter, I would be all for it, but that is not
That
gonna
is
be me.
above and beyond a volunteer.
No,
and
they
that's
have a
the-
big staff. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not a volunteer lift.
Yeah, I'm very happy to do a 5-minute Facebook post every other day.
No, yeah,
That's about
a
it.
No,
well-published.
newsletters take so much time.
Other matters not anticipated.
All right, I motion to adjourn.
So, second?
Robin,
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Yes, we are adjourned 8:31. Thank you all. Have a
Have a
great
good
night.
evening.